Do you know how a pressure cooker makes tires? You know, if you had a scooter like this when you were a kid, then you are definitely the prettiest conspicuous bag on the street. This is a 1970 vintage scooter. This is the repair god Chicken Brother. Bought it at auction for $40, and it took 50 days to repair it. It takes a long time. It's because Brother Chicken spent a lot of energy. This first challenge was how to make a scooter tire. This is the Chicken so far, the most difficult project to repair. This is also what I have seen. The repair video with the strongest hands-on ability of Brother's early scooters. It's always been handmade in Europe and America, usually used as a toy for children to hang out on the street. By 1990, the Swiss invented the row wheel, aluminum scooter that folds. Once listed, it became a global fashion toy. Even his electric scooter can reach a cruising range of 30 kilometers. Back to the video. Brother Chicken has disassembled all the parts. Next comes the restoration. Apply paint remover to the surface of the workpiece. This paint remover has a very short reaction time. The paint on the surface can be cleaned off in a few minutes. After the paint stripping is completed, do sandblasting and rust removal. It's a sandblasting process. Not only can it have a good rust removal effect, it can also increase the adhesion of the workpiece surface. Play an important role in the back painting process. After the sandblasting is completed, this rust removal effect is so obvious. Then correct the pedal, due to the thin thickness of the pedal. So no need to heat the surface. It can be easily corrected. The original brake notch is relatively large. Brother Chicken decided to use the method of welding patches. Remake it. After expanding the notch, wash out a matching plug-in. After sanding the edges into rounded corners, solder it to the notch. This is what the solder joint looks like after sanding it. The gap in the folding bracket is filled with welding. Then polish off the welding point and the processing is completed. To the screw hole on the Samsung bracket, perform secondary tapping and chamfering. Then deal with this brake pedal. Reinforce the connection points with solder joints. Then correct it. Polish the original welding point regularly. Then chamfer the pinholes. Next, apply atomic ash to the surface of the workpiece. Atomic ash is an unsaturated polyester resin putty. It adheres well to the surface of the workpiece and does not crack after drying. After drying, smooth the surface with abrasive paper. Spray paint after polishing. First spray off-white primer. The overall color match is blue and milky white. After the primer is sprayed, the sky blue top coat is sprayed. The next step is to deal with these two wheels. This is also the best part of this video. First remove the center shaft above, then pour out the bearing steel balls from the inside. After rust removal is completed, remove the burrs on the surface by grinding with a roller. The abrasive material used here is ceramic particles. The grinding time is generally set at 3 to 4 hours. Next, make new tires. The first thing to do is to make a mold for the tire. On a piece of polyethylene plastic, mold size of the car tire. After the shape is made, drill out the pinhole. Merge the produced two-sided molds together. The material used for pouring is polyurethane rubber. Then add a little white paint. Stir the two evenly and then you can pour them. After finishing, put it in a pressure cooker and leave it for 24 hours. The pressure value is set to 3 Pa. The function is to make the tire structure tighter. Work on these small parts first in your spare time. First on the central axis, do a recompany, and then it rusts off the surface. Grinding and polishing with a cloth turbine. Nickel plating after completion, to improve the corrosion resistance of the workpiece. Other small parts, processed in the same manner. These bearings are customized by Brother Chicken online. After the tire stamping time is up, open the mold. You can see the milky white tires.
It looks very healing. And the tire surface is smooth and flat. There are no pouring gaps. After taking it out, install it together with the wheel hub. Using a crowbar is the quickest way to install wheels. After completion, install the bearing parts with a manual press. Before putting the bearing in, grease needs to be applied to reduce friction. Finally, install the central shaft parts separately. Test the condition of the bearing after assembly. The process of tire rolling is very easy and silky. Next, to deal with this fender. First, the surface is sandblasted to remove rust. Correct the sunken position after sandblasting is completed. After finishing, sand and polish with grinding paper. Then polish and brighten with a wool wheel. Electrolytic nickel plating after completion. The repaired effect is like restoring the factory settings. The stent was repaired in the same way. The back fender Machine Brother remakes a new one.
The original screw is badly corroded. It has no repair value. So here, Brother G chose to remake. The original brake pads are no longer usable. Shape of brake pads with machine tool cart. Brake pads are easily worn parts. It was originally made of rubber. Here, the machine brothers chose composite materials. Does any old iron know what type of material this is? Please leave your answer in the comment section. After the appearance is completed, wash out grooves and drill out pins. And then the finishing touches. It's done. See the effect after the production is completed. Did it surprise you? This pin has also been remade. Finally, we have to deal with this head frame. The original head frame was chrome plated, so the corrosion of the chrome plating is not that serious. First, sand off the original plating layer.
Then the original welding gap is filled. After finishing, polish and correct. Grind and polish with different mesh sizes of fine sandpaper. And then finally, we do the finishing with the cloth wheel. After finishing, put it in the container made by Brother Chicken. Nickel plating. Let's see what it looks like after the repair is completed. The transition of this solder joint looks much better than the original. Brother Chicken recreates two handles by pouring. After high pressure treatment, the mold is opened. This handle mold is also made by Brother Chicken. Now, do you know how strong Brother Chicken's hands-on ability is? You can see it. It's a fantastic pouring mold. Made handle. There are no pouring gaps and faults. The remaining small parts. The Chicken Brother has been repaired separately. After all parts are repaired, the next step is to assemble the whole. The whole repair process took 50 days. The repair process is very complicated and cumbersome,
especially when it comes to making tires and handles. It is also the project that Brother Chicken challenged for the first time. As for the front frame, it was originally chrome plated. After looking up the information, it was found to be a toxic metal. Later, Brother Chicken chose nickel plating treatment. This repair is also so far Brother Chicken's most difficult project to repair, with the reset of the last part. This vintage 1970 scooter has been restored. Let's take a look at the comparison before and after restoration. As you can see by comparison, Brother Chicken handles the details perfectly, even the linkage between parts. Also very thoughtful. Have to admire the Chicken Brother right. Decay into magical repair technology. Okay, that's it for the video. Friends who like to fix the video, remember to like and follow. See you next time.